Okay.
I don't see anybody here yet, so we'll wait till we have some eyes on us.
So I can bring up the chat too, but then you disappear, so I'm not going to touch it.
Oh, you can bring up the chat, hey?
Yeah, but then we're not on my frame, so I'm going to leave it, and then I'll let you have fun with that.
Well, and what I did in the past with others is that, like you kind of want to acknowledge people who have signed into the chat because
Yes.
I think people like to know that they're being seen, or if they're raising a question or making a point.
Yeah.
So, unlike Joan, I don't want, like, if you're in the middle of some sentence, I'm not going to cut you off to say, oh, so and so is here. But take the
Thank
next
you.
opportunity to acknowledge somebody because
Yes.
I found that very annoying when it happened.
Yeah, I hear you. So I'll rely on you
Yeah.
to say who's in the chat and stuff because I don't have
Yes,
that uh, capability.
that's right.
Yeah.
So I see that we have a couple people who have joined us. Um, of course, I'll just say that you're always welcome to say hi in the chat, or, oh, it's Susie. I should have known. Susie, there should be a prize for you. Aren't you first every time? Brenda, do you know Susie Allen?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, well, you will by the time this is over, and she will know you.
I was just thinking I should grab a pen for these new names, but I don't have a pen by me. So, oh, yes, I do.
Now, your kingdom for a piece of paper, right?
I have an envelope. Does that make a difference? No, I have paper.
Okay, very good. Well, as I've said in each of these heart to hearts, is that I don't prepare or share any questions ahead of time with the guest, and it seems to me it's more real. Oh,
Yes.
hi, Hope. Hope Smith is another faithful viewer,
Oh, hi, Hope.
and
I know Hope.
isn't that a great name?
Yes.
Um, so I sort of say that if anyone sees me grabbing a pencil and writing something, it's because somebody said something really important, and I want to capture it because you know all of our memories are really good. They're just kind of short.
Yep. The older you get, it happens.
So maybe I can just begin with a wee bit of an introduction of Brenda Clark. If you wanted to find her channel, you would just, oh, Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
Caroline on the hillside is joining us. Hey, Caroline, were your ears burning? I said to Brenda, well, before we went live, that it seems to me that I need to be sending you an invitation very soon to be a guest. So I hope when you get that email, you don't just consider it spam or
Put it in
junk or
trash.
something. Yeah, yeah. So back to the introduction. Um, Brenda Clark, aka the Simple Crafter, is an Alberta YouTuber. And I don't think we've met now a couple of times in your hometown.
Yes.
Well, your adopted
My
hometown.
adopted
And
hometown.
I don't think I've ever clocked the distance, but I would think it's about an hour and a half
Yeah.
we're an hour and a half apart.
Mm-hmm.
So this interview is different in the sense that Brenda is one of the few people well, at this point, the only person that I'm interviewing in this format that I've actually met in person. Everyone else is just virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool. Um, so, Brenda, I just wanted to tell you that the last time we met, of course, we had lunch. We swapped some good junk with each other, and you
Mm-hmm.
surprised me with a journal. And I'm
Yes.
thinking, oh my goodness, I guess that's how that woman rolls. So, of course, I said, well, the next time we get together, there's going to be a journal for you. So I just wanted you to know. Oh, I carried it away because I was going to do some photography. I wanted you to know that I have one done and it's all ready for you. So if we
Woohoo.
have to meet at the drop of a hat, I'm ready.
Yeah. I can come up your way too.
Well, there isn't much here, let me tell you that. Um, so I think that one of the things that we were sort of talking about again before we went live is the fact that you have this cool new space that you're operating out of now. Do you want to? And of course, I missed that video, so I don't know, when did you post the video tour of the or of the rearrangement you've done?
last week, I believe. It might have been
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm not sure what day it was though.
So we've got Sherry Liberto who's joined
Hi,
us. Is that a
Sherry.
name that?
Yeah,
Oh, so this is a name that you know. Okay, well, Sherry's
yeah.
new to me, so welcome, Sherry. Um, so I obviously have to find that video because I love voyeuristically looking at other people's spaces. So I will do that in detail. But
Mm-hmm.
did you want to maybe just tell people how this well, maybe briefly what you've done and how it's changed or improved your efficiency and maybe your state of mind or whatever. Say what you want about that part.
So from the chaos to the calm, right?
Oh,
Yeah, because I had no storage anywhere except for a couple of bookshelves. But now I have I've Tom built those for me, and then I have shelves in my closet, and I have nothing on my floor anymore because before it was very stressful coming in because you couldn't walk around very much or you're going over things, but not anymore.
yeah.
There's nothing on my floor, everything has a home. And so I just love coming in here every single day. Yeah.
Well, and I love that. I'm going to make a note of that because I love that phrase from chaos to calm because I think that some of us maybe create in a certain level of chaos
Yeah.
because we get surrounded, and I've seen your desk. It's
Oh
kind of
yeah,
chaotic too sometimes
it
in
is.
videos.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that we can get our spaces to the point either before we start or after we're done
Mm-hmm.
where it is calm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hi, Gigi. Thanks for joining us. Oh, and for those of you who maybe haven't seen my May calendar that's on my community tab, Gigi Hanna is going to be the interview subject for next week. Oh, and Sherry is mentioning Brenda and Tom did a beautiful job. Well, let me tell you, before we went live, the infamous Tom also brought in a hot beverage for
He,
my guests. So
my tea.
in the past, I've just seen these mysterious male hands,
Yeah.
sort of from stage left or right, bring in a cup of coffee, set it on the desk, and then he probably just backs out of the room.
He does. But you got to see the full view of him.
Yeah. Well, and now, hey, and now that I know that he's got some carpentry skills, though, that's worth bonus points any day of the week.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I aspire to a clean floor, but I think we were also talking about how so many of us that have YouTube channels and are regularly creating actually need to be able to see our stuff.
Yes.
Like,
No doors, no closing everything off, having it all within visual sight.
yeah,
Yes. That's a
yeah.
must.
So that's part of your MO too. If it's out of sight, you forget it and you don't use it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for the most part,
Yeah.
like I have stuff in drawers, but my drawers are those plastic ones and you can pretty much see through them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Have you done quite a bit of labeling, or do you, at this
some.
point, do you still remember where everything is?
I know where everything is. And so the things that I've
Okay.
moved around, I put labels on so that I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a treasure hunt every morning, eh?
Exactly.
So, one of the other things that I wanted to explore with you is the idea that you have done a couple of things that are foreign to me. So I think I have an understanding of how some of this works, but maybe just for the benefit of anybody who's watching this live or watches the replay, do you want to just tell us about um, being on somebody's design team? How that happens, what the obligations are, what the benefits are, just I know you've been
Hmm.
on a couple at least.
Yeah,
That's nothing I've ever done.
I started out on Antonio's design team, and then he finished. I was on Liz's, and she finished, and that means that she's not designing digitals at this time, so which is fine. And then Took asked
Hmm.
me if I would be a part of her design team, and well, I jumped at that because well, I love everything she creates. Like she just creates such beauty, and that's my word, by the way, on my videos. But um, yeah,
Yes.
and so I just ask her for a kit, and she sends it to me, and then I create with it. And then I also have a code so people can shop and with a discount.
Okay. So, well, I one thing that you said there sort of piqued my interest because my understanding was that in most cases, and maybe this is the mega, the big stars of the journaling community, I thought that most people have an application process where they do a call for applications and then they sift through the people who have expressed interest and they pick a design team. But you're saying that Tuke invited you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there are a lot of people, like a lot of creators, who will put something out there saying, if you'd like to be on a design team, email me. Like I don't know all the ins and outs of that. So,
Yeah.
or people like myself, just a regular person on YouTube, will seek people out who do stuff and ask them if they would like to have someone on their design team, you know, like they're for themselves, I mean.
Okay, I thought I'm going to see if I can type the answer to Susie's question. Okay. So it's Tuke's craft table, right?
Hmm.
And she's a fellow Canadian. She's in Ontario, right?
She's in Ontario. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've put well, okay, yeah, it's now appeared in the chat. Um, so you can, yeah, definitely check her out. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are here, we always appreciate a thumbs up on the live and of course on every video. So feel free to do that. And also, if you have specific, like I'm asking the questions that I that I want answers to, or anticipating what I think you might be interested in hearing about. But if you have specific questions for Brenda
Hmm,
um, that I
please ask.
haven't thought of, then by all means put them in the chat, and um, maybe we can convince her to answer them.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so would it, for those people who maybe have that as a channel or a personal goal that they want to tick that box, they want to say I'm on a design team, um were you, or do you have to be a really good customer of that person's digitals prior to even being considered for the design team? So do you have to sort of prove that your aesthetic matches theirs?
Oh no. I think designers who are doing digitals love to have someone on their team who is almost like an opposite of what they do. I
Okay.
think it's a lot of fun that way, I think, because then the designer gets to see different ways to create with their kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because your
And
first love is grunge, that is kind of from that is kind of further away from what Took does, based on what I
yes,
remember of her stuff.
but
So, okay, well, that's great.
you can take anything though and make it grunge.
Yeah,
You can take anything and make it whatever you want, in whatever theme that you want. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, so that's great. We have a Deirdre
Oh,
58 who signed in. Is that somebody you know?
I think so.
Welcome, Deirdre. Um, so that was actually a name. That was a name I considered when I was pregnant with my daughter. But anyway, Hillary is the one that we landed on. Um, so the excuse me. So the benefit, again, if people have this as a channel goal, the benefit to you is that you get obviously a complimentary kit
Hmm.
to work with. Um, and I think a certain amount of exposure, excuse me, through the designer's channel as well, right? Because I would think that the designer must uh, talk up their team a bit, right?
Oh, oh, yeah. Like, if whoever would just mention their design team and then, you go and check out who they are and what they do. And yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
mean,
and
if
we know
someone's
that sometimes
goal,
that's
sorry, but if someone's goal is to be on a design team, I would just suggest seeking out people like designers that they know who create, and then just reach out to them because you never know. Somebody may
yeah,
be looking for someone to work with their kits. Anything. It's always fun to take a
yeah,
chance. And if somebody says no, that's
exactly.
okay. Just go on to the next one.
That Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No has never killed any of us.
No.
Well, yeah, that's great. Um, Now the other thing that is foreign to me, but that you have been doing as well, is, now I don't know what the actual terminology but sort of that arrangement that you have or had with Globaland,
Hmm.
where a manufacturer or product development company reaches out to a YouTube star and says, "Here, have product." Uh,
Hmm.
so my guess is that the goal is to introduce their product to your viewers, see how you might use their product. Maybe it's different
Yeah.
than others.
So
So
it's
it's
reviewing
the benefit
product.
for them is, pardon?
It's reviewing their
Sorry.
product. So, you review their products
Okay.
and stuff. Yeah.
Uh, Okay, Teresa is just just popping in briefly to say hi. She's headed out for an impromptu camping trip for our anniversary tomorrow. 38 years
Have
and
fun.
42 since they met. And she'll be sure to tune into the replay. Well, Teresa, you know that I have a soft spot for you. So thank you for making time for this, if only briefly. And have fun out there with that man of yours. And Denise Gardner is here as well. Hi, Denise. Um, okay, so the benefit to the company, like in this case, Globeland, is they're getting their product before more sets of eyes. And the benefit to you is
I received products. So it was four
Mhm.
four products a month. I would review them, I would use them, I'd give my take on them, whether good or bad. And yeah.
Do you think that most YouTubers who do these reviews are quite frank in their assessment of the product, or is it a little bit of a thing? Well, they gave me this stuff, so
I would hope that
like,
they were honest reviews. So, because
yeah,
I think there was only one product that I reviewed that was no good. So, and that was
okay, and you
apparently
said
an
it.
yes, yeah. And I mean, I tried to use it 5 different ways, and none of them worked. And it was supposed to be a die cut,
Okay,
so I did honestly review that product on my channel, and I let people know if you're thinking about getting it, don't. So, but I think that
oh,
was the
see,
only
that
one.
takes some courage
Well,
and some integrity. So Caroline is saying your creations using Globland stamps were awesome. She definitely used the discount and purchased some. So that's good to know.
yeah.
Um, so have you done reviews for other products or no?
I did one review for your creative studio, and that was it. But nobody else.
Okay. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've never been approached. Well, I shouldn't say long ago. I was approached by somebody via email, but then when the deal was, we need your PayPal number, I thought, oh,
Oh,
what's wrong with this
yeah.
with this
That's when you
deal?
say bye bye.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, close. Yeah. Um, Terry is here. I don't know if you know Terry.
I don't
She's Mick
know.
Mouse mom,
No, I don't know her.
and yeah, she's a lovely a subscriber of mine as well, and very supportive and so on. I'd love to have her around as well. She said that she loved the recent redo of your craft room and it turned out beautifully.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
Denise Gardner said, Brenda, that you're new to her. So this is sort of the benefit and the offshoot I was hoping for this whole series was that we
Ooh,
could cross pollinate our viewers.
I had a bling on my iPad. It just like right in my ears again. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. I do you need the to use the or can you just use your mic like the built-in mic?
I can
I
use the
guess it's a
mic.
little late for us to be trying that.
Let me see if I can just
And
take it
I
out and if you can hear me.
yeah,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Um oh, and Terry said she found you through the Masterboard Madness collab.
Okay.
So Brenda and I are in the same province. We're only about an hour and a half apart. The sky here is a little bit cloudy. It's clearing up. So I don't know, to be honest, why every so often one of us seems to go blank here. There's no big storm happening, but oh, Susie says now she can hear better. So that's interesting. Honestly, it does continue to amaze me and be a miracle that we can even make this stuff happen.
Right?
You know, with all the possibilities for things to go wrong with technology. So that's really good. Um, Now, anybody who has watched Brenda's videos or commented on her videos, or if she has commented, if you have a channel and she's commented on your videos, you will notice quite often that her sign off will be hugs and blessings or have a blessed day. And I guess I wanted to, and call me crazy, you're not supposed to talk about religion or politics, but can you just
Wow.
maybe talk a bit about your belief system, your the
About being a
role that the
Christian.
Lord plays in your life, and why you're making you're not keeping it a secret.
No. Well, to put it straight out there, Jesus died for my sins. Whether you're a believer or not, that's the way it is. And he lives in my heart. I believe in him wholeheartedly, and I try to live my life in such a way to uplift and build up others. And that is my goal, to do that. It doesn't matter if I'm having a bad day. If you're having a bad day, I'm going to lift you up. Do you understand that? It's like
Yeah.
I'm down in the dirt. It doesn't matter, because if I can make somebody else feel better, that's my goal. I pray every day. I do all of that. I go out of my way to help people because that's what I'm supposed to do, and that's what I love to do.
So is that the result of your upbringing, or is that something that you came to later in life as an adult, maybe because of something or other,
Well, I knew as a
or is
child
that
that
how you
there
were
was.
raised?
Oh no, I yeah, my childhood, we'd be here 3 hours. But I knew when I was young that there was something. I didn't know what, but I started going to church on my own when I was, I think, 6. So nobody else in my
Oh my
family.
God.
Yeah, because I come from Toronto. That's my where I was born. And so there was
Yes.
a church a couple blocks away, and I used to walk there every Sunday to go to children's church. Yeah.
A lot of kids would have gone to the corner candy store.
Yeah, I suppose. That's funny.
Okay, I want to carry on with this, but I just want to bring to you, and the reason I'm sort of drawing these comments to the guest's attention is because she can't see them. So Teresa DeFredo
Mm-hmm.
says, before I leave, I just wanted to say, if you haven't watched Brenda, go watch. She's a wonderful, talented, and such a soothing and calm crafter. Okay, bye all.
Oh,
Now
thank
she's
you.
going camping.
Thank you so much,
Hopes
Teresa. I really appreciate that.
and Hope says, amen.
Oh.
Denise Gardner is shouting through all caps and saying, I love you already, Brenda. My goal is to love. My goal is to love and edify others.
Yes.
And Caroline on the hillside says, yes, completely agree. Amen. Sherry says, Brenda, you're a great friend. So the thing that
Hmm.
I think
You
that
bring tears to my
I was
eyes.
thinking of, if only Tom could bring you a hanky. Oh my goodness.
I have Kleenex right there.
um I want to sort of make a point about part of what my process is, but we're not leaving this subject just yet. So every so often, I've been asked to do eulogies for people who have died.
Mm-hmm.
So I find my process, I have access to a lot of written material and so on. And I'm a, I would say a very, well, I'm not going to describe myself as a writer, but I, I know in my heart that I'm a good writer.
Mm-hmm.
What I typically do is I begin pacing the house, wondering, okay, what angle do I take to try to uh, give this deceased person their, um, to capture their life in, these few words. And I found that I noticed today that I was doing the same thing. And it seems like I'm doing this every Thursday that I have an interview, a heart to heart with somebody, because
Wow.
I keep the house quiet and I walk around and I begin thinking about, okay, what is it that makes this particular person different than the person last week or the week before, or,
Mm-hmm.
going back to
Mm-hmm.
Carol, who was the very first one. So I think that, touch wood, that has been working for me so far. But back to what you said, um, I think that we all can think of examples where maybe people are talking the talk, but not necessarily walking the walk. In
Mm-hmm.
other words, profess to be Christians and
Sunday
God fearing,
Christian.
and
I call them a
yeah,
Sunday Christian.
sort of,
So.
yeah, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to um, sort of living it as opposed to talking about it.
Right.
And my personal belief is that we don't need to necessarily be sitting in the front pew at the church
No.
of our choice um, once a week or however often. We just need to be kind and loving in every single interaction we
Yeah.
have with other people.
Yeah. Well, all that is good, right? God loves a person who is caring and giving and all of that. But in order for it to be, in order to get us to heaven, we have to have Jesus. That has to be the center. He has to be our center. Otherwise it's all for naught. And
Yeah.
that's my belief. So,
Yeah. So have you by now I don't think excuse me, I don't think that I've ever heard you in a video necessarily talking about your beliefs or the Bible or
mhm,
your value system, but yet it's clear, like I said, in the comments and the replies to comments and so on.
mhm.
So can you think of an example? Has it ever happened where um, maybe you've lost a viewer or lost a subscriber for your approach? Or do you find that, if anything, it is drawing people to your channel
I
and to
don't
you?
know. Like most YouTube channels lose people. You know what I mean? Like someone might
Yeah,
subscribe to you and then realize you're not for them, so they unsubscribe and they
yeah,
try the next channel. That's all normal.
yeah,
But
yeah,
going back to what you had said about my not saying things on my videos, I I won't preach to people. I'm not
yeah,
I'm not going to go down someone's throat and say da 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 da. It's not what it's about.
yeah,
I
yeah,
try to live so that people wonder, hey, what's going on with this lady? Why isn't
yeah,
she the same as this other person I know? Well, ask
yeah,
me, and I'm happy to tell you.
yeah.
So, yeah,
And I very much appreciate the non-preaching aspect of
yeah,
that. Like that, I
yeah.
think would be that would be kind of a turnoff, to be honest.
Yes.
However, I think that if we conduct ourselves and speak in such ways that our love and our concern and our empathy for other people is evident, that we're going a long way to meeting that goal. And
Mm.
when you said that, it reminded me of an expression I've heard. This was from a personal development guy. I was one of thousands or hundreds that were in the audience. And he said, you can either live your life as an example or as a warning.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that a mouthful of wisdom?
Yes.
Because, talk is cheap. We can talk about, we can say, we can pretend that we are doing, living, that we are something different than we truly are. But it's in our
Mm-hmm.
behavior and in our actions that the
Yes.
truth will be revealed. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's wonderful. Now, um, for those of you who may, oh, Denise says attract, not attack.
There you go.
Um, so Denise is another wise one. Um, for those who maybe don't follow the two of us regularly, or certainly I understand that nobody can watch everybody's videos and it's impossible, but
You'd never leave YouTube.
not so long ago, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, Brenda and I got together and had lunch, and one of the things I asked her, because I'm always asking questions. I said, "So do you have a budget for postage for Happy Mail?" Because it seemed to me that she was sending out a lot of Happy Mail to all kinds of people, including
Yeah.
Americans. And we know that postage isn't cheap. So I'm going to tie this back to this whole generosity thing. Is your um, giving nature a way that you manifest those Christian beliefs that you have, or am I reading something into this that doesn't exist?
Well, my joy in giving is a huge part of that. I mean, I love to give, and so I do. Doesn't matter where in the world you are, I'll send you a little something. If I have your address, I'm going to send you a little something.
And so I think that I was under the impression, because of course we've all seen haul videos. I've been lucky enough to be the recipient of some very huge things. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was always thinking, well, like go big or go home. But yet that's probably the wrong way to look at it. Because number one, it is cost prohibitive for most of us to mail huge boxes anywhere.
Yeah. Well, the only time
So
to
I
do
think
that is October. You know that.
yeah, I know, but that's in Canada. Well, no, I guess it's not just in
You
Canada,
can
but
do it
it's
in the States
who
as
knows
well.
with those postal people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can only do that as many Tuesdays as there are in October.
Yes. But what
But
great
anyway,
fun
what
to send a
your
box.
the thing that you replied to my question over lunch was, well, you just send small envelopes.
Mm-hmm.
You
I make
keep it within sort of that one stamp value. And I'm thinking, well, I can do that.
right.
It's changing the mindset into thinking it doesn't have to be a gigantic box. It can be simply a card with a few little goodies in it, much like the
Exactly.
the thing that Kim Newberg started,
Yeah.
the Happy Mail movement.
Yeah.
And all it says is that I'm thinking of you.
Exactly. And that's exactly the message that you want to send. You don't even have to add a note. Just most of the time I forget to add a note. Let's be honest. I always forget. but it's like, yeah, I'm thinking of this person. I'm sending them an envelope.
Yes, well, okay. So that I'm going to add that to my to-do list and to try to
Good.
be more organic and spontaneous about that because and I'll give an example and hope is hopefully hope is still in the chat. Um I think it was Christmas or it might have been another occasion. Anyway, just out of the blue, she sends me an envelope with a few goodies in it.
Hmm.
And it was so touching because, you know, she had
Beautiful.
to look up my address, think of me, put some stuff in an envelope, buy a
Hmm.
stamp, march over to her post office or her mailbox or whatever. And when you think about snail mail, it
Yes.
is a multi-step process.
Yes.
So it's not like firing off a text that has, you know, abbreviations and whatever in it. It's a more mindful, conscious um, process.
It's you're making an
So,
effort for a friend and you're sending them some
yes,
happy in the mail. And I love doing that.
yeah,
So, hmm.
yeah. Well, okay, so that's my takeaway from today's. Um, so, and do you find, and again, I know that the conventional wisdom. Oh, now I think let me just scroll back through these comments.
Okay.
I think I might have mispronounced Deirdre.
Is it Deidre?
Deidre.
Deidre?
Yeah, she did it. She broke it into three. I can't find it just quickly, but anyway, she says that you sent her very first Happy Mail.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I love that.
Oh, and Denise. And if I remember correctly, now there are a couple Denises in my sphere. Um, so I better not guess where this Denise lives. But anyway, Denise says, they say people might not remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's lovely. I love that saying. Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, and Sherry's saying that she loves sending and receiving happy mail. So, okay, that's going to be, I'm going to adopt that policy and I'm going to get over the feeling that if it isn't gigantic, it doesn't count because
Exactly.
that's been holding me back.
Oh, well,
Um,
hopefully now you're freed from that and then you can start sending.
um, so can you, Brenda, maybe just sort of tell us what you might have on the horizon, what plans you have for your well, now you've got your space pretty well. I mean, you have some last minute stuff to do to your space, but you do you have like are you a goal setter? Do you at the end of the year or at the beginning of a new year sort of set out some written goals for yourself and your channel? Like what's on the horizon for you?
I do not set goals. I think that's a false, whatever the word is, it's a false expectation and puts too much hardship on a person if we're going to make, if you're going to write down goals, because it puts pressure on you to keep on that list. I don't do that to myself.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. So I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun, crafting, creating, meeting people, just enjoying myself. So,
Now, I know from past conversations um, that you have kind of a I don't know if it's unique, but a kind of a different approach to doing your videos. You tend to do them all in one day, like you do sort of, you do your most of your taping in one day. Is that still your practice?
on Sundays, it used to be on Sundays, I would do Monday's video, and then on Monday, I would do the rest. But now I'm trying to be a week ahead because I get
Okay,
so
yeah.
many
I'm
ideas.
telling you,
I have so many ideas in my head and so many things I
yeah,
want to do, and it's like, okay, just do videos, just do them. Just do
yeah.
them. So I do.
Well, and so what is your publication schedule? Do you have videos every day of the week?
Well, I started out with 3 days a week, and now I'm up to 5 days a week.
You slacker.
I
You're
refuse to go
taking
to
too
seven.
long. Um, uh, I I absolutely love the ability to schedule videos because it
Yes.
covers our butts when life gets in the way and
Yeah.
a person isn't feeling well or whatever happens. You're not disappointing your viewers. So
Exactly.
that's a good thing.
I I think there was only one day that I actually missed, and then it was
Yeah.
like, "Are you okay, Brenda? Where are you?" Like,
And
I'm
isn't that a
fine.
nice feeling
It's
when
it's
people
wonderful,
see notice the hole in the schedule?
right? Yeah.
Um so another thing, and I know I've said this to you in the past when we were together, it seems to me that you're very prolific. Would you consider yourself a very fast crafter,
Uh,
or are you just toiling away like 12 hours a day?
oh no. I do sleep once in a while.
Well, between midnight and 3 a.m.
I don't know. Sometimes I can be quick at, and others I like to take my time. But I don't know. I try to make sure I have everything. And sometimes things just flow so well,
Yes.
right? That you're done within,
Yeah.
minutes. And it's like, okay, let's do something else. And let's do
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works
Now,
that way.
I don't um I can't tell from watching, and I don't think you've ever said, do you do you edit your videos?
I The only editing I do is when I have to stop a video, do something, like if I'm drawing something and then I
Oh
have to
yeah.
start it again, then I can edit them
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those of you who may be interested to know, um, Brenda has promised to give me a little tutorial next time we're together on
Hmm.
the editing software that she does, because I think obviously the ability to splice together little fragments of videos would be a huge help
Yes.
in my case, shortening my videos.
Yeah.
Um, so do you have like a regular routine? Do you, like, when you get up in the morning, I imagine it's with joy and the outlook of what is this day going to bring? Do you
Coffee,
sort of show
breakfast.
breakfast in bed served by Tom?
No, no.
No?
No, I get up and we have coffee and breakfast, and then I go through emails, and then I do a few things, and then sometimes I'll just come in here and sit and look around, and then I'll leave.
One thing that I think I definitely need to improve on is my use of, like, I know you're a Facebook person and we can't expect miracles. I'm not going to become a Facebook person, but I certainly can improve my Instagram. How do you, okay, and sorry to anyone in the chat or anyone who's listening who thinks, well, this is more detailed than I want. But honestly, I I think anybody who has a channel wants to know some of these details and that's why I'm asking these questions. So, okay, you say that you, like me, batch tape some videos and schedule them out to cover a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
Yes.
So, how do you, what process, what habit have you built in so that your Instagram post for today is going to be the one that is going to support the video that appears today? Because honestly, this is more trouble than it seems to be worth for me.
Well, all I do is I take a picture of what I've created. I put it on Instagram. And
So
then I,
you don't, so it doesn't, you're not losing your mind or
no,
ignoring it like I do, trying to match up today's video with with the
yeah,
photo that you took today.
exactly, exactly. And
Okay.
sometimes I'll put the pictures out the day before
Okay.
and then just say there will be a video on my channel tomorrow, whatever time.
Yeah.
So, mm-hmm.
And honestly, maybe I'm overthinking it because it's hard to believe that with all the content out there, the millions of Instagram posts, it's hard to imagine that anyone is going to see a photo and immediately run to their device and quickly search for that video. So maybe I should care less about that and just get the content up. And who cares if it's not in the right, if it doesn't
Exactly.
mesh?
Exactly. Like the video that
Because
of
you're
mine
like
that came out,
clockwork, man.
well, and sometimes I forget to post to Instagram. So, but I mean, if my
Well,
video today, I posted pictures days ago on Facebook.
yeah,
I don't think it really
the,
matters.
yeah. Okay. So again, I'm this is the first interview that I've done where I'm getting a to-do list of homework here.
Yay.
Instagram and Happy Mail and editing. Um, okay, so
Well, there's something I don't know how
do
to do. I don't know how to fast forward in my videos. Braden, my
yeah.
grandson, he tried to teach me. He did teach me, and I wrote it down, but because I'm visual, I need to see it.
Oh yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
needs to
But
visit again.
yeah, but that part doesn't matter to me anyway. As long as I know how to put videos together, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Sherry is saying she's going to head out. I hope and pray everyone has an amazing evening. Take good care of yourself. Bye for now. Thank
Bye,
you for
Sherry.
tuning in, Sherry. And of course, you can see the replay on my channel after this is all over. And Brenda will also be sharing it on her channel. So
Yes.
by all means, see how this all turns out. um, I I should have made a note of the something just flittered through my mind and is gone again.
Hmm.
Not sure if it was. Oh, I was going to say that my only I'm pathetic at Facebook, but the I did manage to set it up so that if I do an Instagram post, it automatically shares to Facebook. So that's the only way I ever have any content there.
Beautiful.
Do
That's
you by
good.
any chance have well, I call it coffee. Do you have a coffee page or
No, I don't.
coffee?
No,
Okay.
no. Apparently I
And do
do,
you have,
but there's no content there.
oh,
Yeah.
well, sometimes if you want to interact with other people, like on their page, either for a
Yes.
freebie or whatever,
Oh
I
yeah.
think you
So I
have
do
to
have a
probably,
coffee. I do have a coffee page then.
but you don't post anything there.
There's
Okay.
no.
Now, again, because Facebook is hopeless as far as I'm concerned, or hopeless for me, I know that when Kim needed to free up some time, you took over as the admin or whatever, the brains behind the operation
Yeah.
for what
Create.
Facebook group?
Yep. It's Oh my god.
Is it Arm's Length Art?
No. No. Oh my gosh. I forget the name of it. That was like a spur of the moment thing, and it just went out of my head.
Oh, well,
Crafting.
it'll come
It's
back to you.
crafting
Hopefully
with
before
eyes
the end
wide
of this,
open. It.
crafting with eyes wide open.
Yes. It's like pew. Talk about leaving your head in
So
a hurry.
So do you want to maybe put in a bit of a plug for that and just explain to people what it is and sort of what sorts of things happen there?
Well, when Kim asked me to take it over, of course, I said, sure, I would do that. And so I started doing a artist of the week. So whoever posts photos, I take a photo and I post it to the main picture on the group page for a week. And so I've been doing
Oh,
that
okay.
every Monday. Every Monday morning I do that for others because I want to acknowledge the creativity of everybody who posts, you know. And it's just a place where we can get together, show our creations, share what we do, ask questions. So yeah.
So are those creations based on prompts, or is it just
No,
whatever
no.
people happen
It's
to be
just
working on?
it's whatever they're working on, whatever they've made, you know. And
Okay.
if you make a video doing something, then post it to the groups, you know. So yeah, it's just a relaxed,
Um,
easygoing group.
and do you find, again, maybe hopefully I'll circle back to this comment. I'll just go back to me walking around today, gathering my thoughts. It occurred to me that, it goes back to this Christianity approach. It occurs to me that there are probably, broadly speaking, two different ways that people approach creating channels. I think that there are people who are very, and I don't mean, excuse me, I don't mean this to sound judgmental in any way, because everybody has to do their own thing. And there's certainly many, many ways to accomplish something. So I think there are some people that start a channel with, maybe a business plan, written goals, are paying very much attention to algorithms. They know the demographics of their viewers. They're being very focused and methodical in how they're growing their channel. And then I think that there are probably people like you and me who are taking a more, maybe a less cutthroat
Mm-hmm.
approach to doing it. That in your case, you're using as it. Well, this is my guess. I shouldn't be putting words into your mouth and saying why you're doing what you're doing. But it seems from the outside, it seems like you're there to share and, as you said, to lift up people. And I don't get the feeling that you're staying awake nights wondering, oh my God, how am I going to build my channel? That
Mm-hmm.
it's just very authentic. It's coming from a place of groundedness, and the channel will grow or not grow or whatever. The channel will be what it's going to be based on you staying true to your vision and your mission, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that I've said on my channel that I would be I've grown to love doing this. And of course I want people to be there, to subscribe, to enjoy the content, blah blah blah. And it warms my heart when people say that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's because I'm really, really, really old, but I honestly do not intend to turn myself into a pretzel to try to be ahead of the curve,
Mm-hmm.
anticipate the next trend, get all those subscribers, because I think there are ways that people try to do that and lose themselves in the process. So I would rather be real with a
Mm-hmm.
few like-minded souls who tune in
Yeah.
than to be a phony baloney actress putting on a show, pretending to be perfect, to a crowds of 1,000. So
Yeah.
does that resonate with you at all?
Well, yeah, I'm just here. I enjoy what I do. I just love being able to make videos for people, interact with people. Like it's what a blessing for me to get to know people around the world and to talk to others. And I'm just, yeah, I'm very humbled by the people who have been following me from day one, and still follow me. And they're just
Yeah.
as supportive and loving as they were. They've always been that way. And yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
I,
care about algorithms, or I don't care about making the big dollars. It doesn't matter to me. I'm enjoying myself. So,
yeah.
yeah. And hopefully that
Well,
portrays.
and I think
Oh,
that um that comes across. And I think that the people who stick with us are doing it because we've said or done something, or we've maybe interacted with them through comments and replies,
mm-hmm.
um, that feels real, or as
Yes.
real as this kind of an artificial situation can feel real, as opposed to um, feeling like a number. I know that in the beginning, when I was just sort of discovering this whole world, I was watching some of the big names, and I would write, and I try never to do mindless comments. If I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
take my time to write a comment, it's going to be worth reading. And
Exactly.
yet, some of the big girls, they never reply.
No,
And that
a
was a
lot of
little bit,
people don't.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
a
was
lot
kind
of
of a
people.
little bit soul crushing in the beginning when you feel
Mm-hmm.
so sort of vulnerable. That's why I bend over backwards to try to put in a comment the feelings that I would express if I was with that person face to face.
Mm-hmm.
So we may never hit the big numbers, Brenda, but at
Yeah,
least our relationships feel authentic.
yeah.
And
To
I
me,
get
that's
as
more
much out of,
important. That's more
and
important
don't
anyway.
you and and don't you feel like you're getting as much from your viewers and your comments as you are giving?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool. Hope lives on the eastern seaboard, sort of, from what I can remember of her address. So she has gone to bed already.
Mm.
Um, so too bad I didn't get to say that before she left. Um,
Take care, Hope.
yes. So would you like what again, maybe the timing of this question is all wrong because we've just said that we don't really care that much about jumping through hoops and turning ourselves into pretzels. But
Mm-hmm.
is there, if somebody out there is considering starting a channel and maybe trying to feel their way around, should I, shouldn't I? Is there one bit of advice that you would offer people um, to maybe advise them about a tactic or a behavior or a thing that they should do to help um, their channel be a success? Like, what
Well,
do you think is counts for your success?
I started. I had been thinking for about 5 years about doing a YouTube channel. First off, I was too chicken. I was scared to death to start one. But then I don't know. I just did it. So I just decided I'm gonna go in with both feet. And if someone is trying to figure out, yes, I want to do it, I'm really unsure, just do it. You can do a video, make it private, send it to your family members, see what they think, but just be yourself. Be real, have
Yeah.
fun, and just
Yeah.
just do what your passion is. Just create. It doesn't matter what that creation is. You could be paper crafting, you could be a painter, you could be mixed media, you could do wreaths, or you know what I mean? Whatever your
Yeah.
passion is, just make a video and do it.
Now you said, share it with family. Do you find that your family has any understanding whatsoever of what you do and why? Because
Um,
most of us don't have that.
well, no. And I think I like Braden and I, when he was quite young, we did two videos together, and they had to be private because he was like 6. But we did a no sharps challenge video. So that's what I called it. And I
Oh, yeah,
sent
you
it
were
to,
telling me about that.
yeah, I sent it to some people, and they loved it. So I was like, okay. So those were my two trials. And then I just decided to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did an introductory video to myself, and yeah, then here we are, just about 3 years later.
Okay. I was going to ask how long you've been at this. Um, would you believe that for my very first video, I wrote out a script? Like, is that
Did you?
crazy or is that crazy?
Well, no.
Well, I didn't want to forget anything,
Right?
but
That's probably something I should have done.
I just find that going with the flow and um, being natural feels more authentic. So that's what I've
Yes,
been doing ever since. But
good for you. You do very well. You have good content, you do good videos. I love your haul videos. I love seeing all the books. I just want to touch them all.
well, thank you. So just to get back to that, what was it? Crafting with Eyes Wide Open Facebook group.
Hmm.
So I imagine, like most Facebook groups, that there is a sort of you request membership and then people are vetted and they're approved, right?
No, it's a public group, so anybody can
Oh,
join.
okay.
Yeah. People
Okay.
still have to respect the rules, like be courteous and polite and no bullying and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's normal stuff. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
It seems to me that I asked you a couple, it seems like ages ago, I asked you what your routine is, and we only got as far as breakfast. So, do you then show up in your studio like you're showing up for work and sort of put in a good day's work?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
oh,
I chill out on the couch. I drink my coffee. I play some games. I'll do the laundry when I remember to do the laundry. And then I might come in for a little while and just play. Or like I said, I sometimes I just come in and I sit on my chair and I look around and I leave again and I go do stuff. So,
see, this does not compute for me because how the heck do you get so much done if you're not sort of putting in a good 8 hours?
no, never 8 hours. Like when I do my videos, I try to do them all together. Then I'll come in, I'll do a video, then I'll go do something else, come back in, do a video, I'll go have lunch, come in, do a video. And if I don't get to the Friday video that day, then I'll do it the next morning. And then I'm done. And then I'm
Oh,
free the rest of the week.
okay, but if you're sending all this stuff out in Happy Mail and you're making journals for people who never even expected to get a journal from you, then
Mm-hmm.
when is all this productivity happening?
I just,
Because frankly,
I've
what
got,
you create in those few videos is not enough to spread Happy Mail across North America.
there are weekends that I don't do videos. So, like, I don't do videos on a Sunday, say. You know, we go to church,
But
we come home, I have lunch, and then we just do stuff. But I've gotten into the habit now where I will, you're gonna laugh, but I have my mailers and I'll put 5 of them on my desk, and then I start adding things on top of the envelopes. And then when I feel it's enough, then I pack it up, I put a stamp on it, and they're ready to go. That's all.
okay, but I think you're still holding back on me. I just
I'm not.
so obviously you do have crafting sessions that are not being taped.
Oh,
You
yes.
don't push yourself to the limit. You don't feel overworked or overwhelmed,
No.
but you just sort of let the spirit move you, and you
Yeah.
create when you want to create, and somehow
Yes.
all this stuff happens.
Yes.
Okay, so Terry is saying, so then how long does it take you to create a journal?
Well, I have 3 journals on the go right now. So one I just keep at my desk, and when I make ephemera, if I have my extra ephemera, then I add to it, and it's done. So, I mean, sometimes a journal will take me a couple weeks, but yeah. When I'm doing design team project like this, we're working on the Alice journal right now. We just started that one. So I'm going to take my time with it. And so that'll probably be a couple of weeks. But sometimes I just like to make a journal. It's blank. I leave it on my desk, and then I just fill it as I go, you know, with whatever. It could be just with anything.
Uh, of course, you and I haven't figured out when we're next getting together, but I
Next
did
week if you
tell you,
want.
but I did tell you that I have a journal ready for you. And I actually did, I think, 1 or 2 videos about this. Now, I
Oh.
don't remember what, or I could probably tell you. Um, do I have to move the scheduling of these videos out further than, like, do you want to see it in the flip through, or do you want to see it in person first?
Oh, either one. You decide. That's up to you.
Because I'll tell you, there was a revelation and a light bulb came on when I was doing something in regards to that. So, um, yeah. Anyway, I'll just leave it as it is.
Okay.
Um, so, and Terry, who is a faithful viewer of mine and one of the sweetest ladies out there, um, I'm sure is shocked by your answer when you say, "Oh, 2 weeks," because some of the things I've been working on, um, it's been on and off for 2 years,
Yeah.
you know.
But I mean,
So,
that happens. You know, you do other things, and
yeah.
I have 2 boxes full of journals that I need to find new homes for. So I'm thinking, if this mail strike doesn't happen, people are getting journals.
So, would it be fair to say that your primary goal in, and again, tying back to what, you know, we keep circling back to the whole uh, generosity Christian outlook. Are you saying that most of the things you do are done with the intention of giving them away?
Well, I have sold quite a few of my journals as well. So, like, I don't have a PayPal account. Well, I do, but it's not active. And so, if I sell to someone in Canada, it's easy because, you know, there's the e transfers.
Yeah.
When I sell to people in the States, and the ladies that I have sold to are just sweethearts, they will mail me a check, and then I mail them the journal. Well,
Yeah.
obviously with extras, but I
Yeah.
everybody I've come in contact with love that idea
Yeah.
because there's
And there
no
is some,
electronics, no mess, no fuss. It's just straight check. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
It's old school, but it's also it harkens back to the time when there was a relationship and an honesty and a person's word was worth
mm-hmm,
something.
yeah,
And it's kind of, I have to say, a little bit sweet when you put it that way, because everything else is so kind of cold and I don't know,
yeah. I know
whatever.
what you mean. But I
Yeah.
love to give my journals away too. When I do giveaways, and most of my viewers don't know this, but I always have in mind a journal as as a main giveaway. I've always done that, but
Yeah.
it just works out that way. It's like I make a journal with it being a giveaway
Yeah.
uh, down the
Well,
road.
and that,
So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because you do. I don't know anyone else who does as many giveaways as you do. Now, unfortunately, I've never been lucky enough to win one through that process, but hey, it's the luck of the draw.
yeah, but
Um,
you know me, so you always get one in person.
so for those of you in the chat for whom Brenda is new, that's another perk to following her because she just, I don't know. I think that sometimes it's like, okay, it's Wednesday, we'll have a giveaway. You know,
No,
sometimes it's tied to subscription numbers, but sometimes
no.
it's just for the heck of
What
it.
I've been doing is my birthday month. We have a birthday month of giveaways. That's in October. So once a week there's winners.
I'm writing this down.
So now June 14th is my 3 years on YouTube. So at the moment, we are doing a 3 year giveaway, and I have my subscribers are playing a part in that. So they're sending me a journal card for and for their names to be entered into the giveaway, the main giveaway. If you
Okay.
send me two, your name goes in twice. But I also threw in, we are also going to be having surprise pop up giveaways. And so, just as a little plug, our first pop up video is tomorrow.
Okay, people. Make a note of that. Um,
So,
so
every
and just
Friday, there will be a pop up video until June 14th or the end of June. We'll see.
so just for clarity, because we know that again the logistics of cost or the hurdle of cost, are your giveaways open to US and Canada?
Anybody,
Anybody?
international, states, Canada, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Okay.
I send to everywhere, and I have been.
Now, can you tell me, are you do you find that most people reciprocate?
I never expect that ever. You know,
So it's a pleasant surprise if they do.
yes, yes. I had a lady send me some happy mail to reciprocate, and it's like, oh, that's so. Oh, I was so touched because I never expect to get mail back ever because that's not why I do it. I do it because I love to share and I love to give people stuff.
One thing that we were talking about before we went on air is when we last got together, Brenda had, I don't know, I can't imagine that she purposely set out to get all these wallpaper books. I think they must have reproduced in the dead of night. But anyway, she ended up with a whole bunch. She offered me some, and I said, "Well, I yeah, okay, I will. I like it, but I'm going to take one or possibly two to the junk
Well,
journal group at Edmonton."
you asked me if I had three you could have, and I said of course. And then you wanted a couple extra, of course. And I still have
Yeah.
19 books.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so I we had the meeting last night. I took one of the books in. grabbed a knife from someone, cut out all the pages, and people were just gaga. Some of the people are new and they don't even know that, wallpaper makes a great journal cover or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they were thrilled. So maybe I'll wait another month or so and then bring another book in and
Yep.
thrill them again. So
And then
it's
when we
kind of
meet next
nice that the,
week, when we meet next week, I can give you a couple more.
I don't, did we, I don't even have my calendar. Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm
So
just teasing.
that's, yeah. Well, and I am determined to come, although I'm trying to cut back on my thrifting. I'm determined to come to Camrose because they have something there called Kick It to the Curb. And you
Mm-hmm.
said that it doesn't just happen one weekend or one Saturday out of the year. It's
No,
every week.
it goes it goes continuously. Like people have had stuff on the curb for weeks now.
Oh,
Yeah, you just
but
have to
it's
bring it in at
Saturdays
no. It
all
goes
the
it's
time.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but people take things out just, however often, and you can just drive around town and pick up some
With a
treasure.
U-Haul trailer.
Oh my.
Oh dear. Um, yeah. I don't know if you find, but you're so darn chill. I don't know. Um, do you find that you have more, mind you, maybe the trick is not to have a goals list. I was going to say, do you ever feel like, oh my goodness, I have so much to do and not enough time to do it?
Oh, well, sometimes I've said, we need more hours in a day, but you need to sleep too, so that's out the
Yeah.
window.
Okay, Caroline. And actually, Caroline on the hillside was somebody that Brenda introduced me to, just, and I checked out her channel and of course, love what she does and invited her to Masterboard Madness. Anyway, she says, this was so fun visiting with you. Thank you for sharing your questions and answers. I'm signing off for the night. We are with our grandchildren and mornings are very early.
Mm-hmm.
See you tomorrow.
Take
So,
care, Caroline.
um, yes, and Caroline, I don't know if she purposely ignored my
Haha.
thing early on when she first signed on, saying, Caroline, I want you as a guest. So
You'll have to email her something privately and give
I,
her a chat.
I will email her. I just don't want it to. I don't want her to what do you call it? Sort of screen it out. Okay, and Julie from Day Trip Vintage Co. has just signed in. And so, welcome, Julie. And actually,
Hi, Julie.
Julie, let me just look at my schedule here, is going to be a guest in June. Let me tell you the date, June 19th. Oh, and for those of you who may not know, I did create a calendar for May. And as soon as June is full, or, everyone is nailed down, I have a community post on my channel laying out the whole month so everyone knows what's what, who's on first, who's on second, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, so this this has been did did I did you finish answering that about whether you feel frazzled and you got too much to do, or are
I
you
I
too
think
chill for
so.
that?
I don't usually get frazzled, so I do videos when I can, break when I can. I just enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of, I'm going to have to spend some time thinking about that because honestly, and I realize you're not a native Albertan, but honestly, in Alberta, we sort of have a reputation for being kind of in overdrive. Go, 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 gotta get her done.
Well, I've been here
And
for 30 years and it hasn't
oh,
rubbed off on me. So
I didn't realize it was that long.
yeah, I came out when my son was a year old. So,
Okay.
mhm.
So it looks like maybe Denise is going to be saying, well, she's saying thank you. So, Denise, if you're heading out, thank you so much for tuning in. And yes, I do
Bye,
remember that you bought
Denise.
my sunflower kit, and it did include an original sunflower painting on watercolor paper. So, I'm glad it's in a good home. Um, So, Brenda, I think that we will begin, winding down. Is there anything that I have neglected to ask you? Anything you want to talk up? Clearly, you had a chance to talk about all your giveaways and some of the upcoming exciting stuff that you're doing in terms of um, sending things out to people.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that you okay, so if a person becomes a regular viewer, really falls in love with your style, if they are interested in purchasing from you, the best bet is just to reach out to you directly and
Yep, just
then
send
you'll
me an
make your own
email.
arrangements.
Yep,
Yes.
just send me an email and yeah.
Okay, Denise, we were say oh, thank you for saying that. She says the interviews are awesome. And Brenda's channel name is just her name, Brenda Clark. That will get you there. She does have an AKA, the Simple Crafter. But yeah, by all means, check out her channel, subscribe. And, you know, obviously, we know that I sold it less than 3 minutes. Uh, okay, Julie is asking to put in Brenda's channel link. Well, let me try doing that. I don't know if it will be a live link, but yeah, it doesn't like I don't think it's like YouTube where you get the little wrench as a moderator, but if you just honestly, it'll come up easily.
Do you want me to
It's
put
just
it in?
well, you can try.
Um uh well, if you put at Brenda Clark 2703, that's my link.
Okay, so I'll just do that again.
Yeah.
So Julie, I don't know that is possible because Brenda and I are 2703. Brenda and I are on StreamYard, and this is just being shared to YouTube. I know in YouTube you could name someone as an admin, but if it's possible, I don't know how to do it. But I've just put it in the chat, Brenda Clark 2703.
Yeah, it's an
So
at sign because that's the when they had
yeah,
to give everybody a number, that's mine.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you Julie, if you put that into the your whatever there,
Browser.
it'll come
Yeah,
right up in your
yeah.
browser.
Oh, she's saying that I have to do it on my phone. So I'm using my laptop. I think you're using an iPad, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so my phone is resting as we speak. um okay, so we took care of those little housekeeping details there. Was there anything more that you wanted to add, or any final words, any words of wisdom, any surprises coming up? that,
Oh,
I mean, other than all those giveaways, I don't know how you could top
there's
that, but
always surprises coming, but I won't divulge any. For that, you have to be a watcher and a listener and a commenter and a subscriber.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she wants to end on a cliffhanger. You're not going to reveal all here tonight.
Nope.
So, Brenda, I just want to thank you for saying yes. I did ask her a couple of weeks ago when we were together and had lunch, and she said yes. And I'm glad that we did this because I got to know more about you. Because, of course, as most of you can probably guess, there aren't enough hours or there isn't enough time, even when you get to gather in person, to talk about all the stuff that
Right.
a person would like to. So
Yeah.
this got to extend our getting to know you time. So I
Yes.
appreciate you saying yes.
Wow.
And I want to, of course, thank all the people who tune in, either live or I know that sometimes with us, in the western part of the continent, that a lot of the people are, have already gone to bed or it's getting really late for them. So by all means, we certainly welcome having you catch this on the replay as well.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody who's here. Yeah, this has been a treat for me, Hazel. And I thank you for having me. It's
Yes.
been really good.
Well, and yeah, thanks for giving me so much homework.
You're welcome anytime.
And I will just remind you again that the guest next week is Gigi Hanna, and she will be coming to us live from Palm Springs, California. And so Deirdre is saying thank you, that she really enjoyed it. Denise is saying much success in both your channels.
Thank you.
And Gigi is saying great interview and thanking us. Terry is saying, as always, an enriching evening. And Susie is saying she loves Thursdays with Hazel. Yay.
Yay!
Okay, guys, we'll call. Oh, Carol. um, so Carol from Crinkled Path. Now I
Hmm,
cannot believe this, but I'm going to say it. She has moved to a new place in Northern California, and population 200. They live on there. They bought a larger property, but the nearest community is 200 people. And on Thursday nights, it's burgers for $1. So that's her one night to go out with the family and not have to cook.
nice.
But so and last time I guess there was dancing even, so and live entertainment. So she is going to catch us on the replay. Anyway, thank you so much, Brenda, and thanks
Thank
to
you.
everyone else who tuned
Yeah.
in tonight.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yep, bye-bye.